I wanted to turn the conversation a little bit toward ban the box. This has been sort of a signature initiative for the White House, and they've noted great successes for many, many employers who voluntarily decided to ban the box. Mark, I wanted to ask you, about Koch's experience with this.
Yeah, we were one of the inaugural signers on Koch Industries and Georgia Pacific, one of our subsidiaries, of the Fair Chance Business Pledge, and we're very proud to do that, partner with the White House on these issues. Our experience, again, I've been with the company 21 years, and I started out doing labor and employment law when I started with the company. And back then, when we had a box on the application, we always followed the EEOC guidelines, which are, well, okay, that's one data point. What are the other data points? How long ago did it happen? What's the person like now? What's the job about? Who's the best person for the job? So we employed that type of analysis all the time. We're fairly analytical, and we want to know the whole person. And given my experience, given people like Charles Koch and David Koch was one of the original funders of Families Against Mandatory Minimums. So they're libertarians, they're classical liberals, they believe in freedom and the Bill of Rights, they believe in second chances. So if you believe in a just system, you have a system that enhances public safety and it provides second chances for people trying to redeem themselves. That should be the pillars of a just criminal justice system, period, in my opinion. So part of that, though, obviously, as we're talking about, a big part of it is a job. Because a job is a lifeline. A job is way back into society. And if you don't have a job, it's very hard to succeed in general. When you have a criminal record, it's very hard to get a job. We know this. 1 in 3 people in this country have some type of criminal record. That's a lot. And it has an impact on a lot of different aspects of your life. And these collateral consequences that I'm talking about are imposed by the government. They restrict your ability to get jobs, to get licenses, to get loans, to get housing. I have a friend here in DC who couldn't go on a school trip with one of his kids because they were going to the National Zoo, and 20 years ago he's in prison. And he still can't shake that. It's the scarlet letter F tattooed on people's bodies. It's not fair, because any one of us, again, could be caught up in it. So we've hired people with criminal records for a long time at Koch. The last couple of years, we just got rid of the box on the application because it's largely irrelevant to us. We want to get to know the whole person. We know that with the number of laws out there, the number of issues that come up, the way we use our criminal justice system in ways it was never intended to deal with issues like public health issues like addiction or mental health issues or just poverty or whatever it is, and we know people make mistakes. We interview people, we get to know them. That issue comes up usually organically when you're talking with someone about something in their past, what happened, they bring it up. And then we decide if they're still the best person for the job. And it's worked very well for us. We don't think it should be forced on people by the government. If the government wants to help here, they can reduce some of the 50,000 collateral consequences that they impose on people with criminal records and clean their own house up with their own hiring if they want to do it that way. But let private employers make that decision. And what we've learned over time is that people with criminal records are really an untapped resource. There's a lot of people out there, and once you get proximate to the issue, you realize why people go to prison in this country. I know it from a young age when I work in the prison. You see what happens. It makes you much more comfortable hiring people who have backgrounds in the past with criminal issues. And the reality is we've hired people who are great employees. They're humble, they're hungry. We just hired 3 people out of work release in Wichita to come work for us, and it's really turned their life around. It's so inspiring. It's a win-win proposition. And on the converse, as I like to say, we hire a lot of people from all the fancy schools. And they have the best degrees and the glowing recommendations and all this other stuff. And they're terrible employees. They're whiny, they're entitled, they lack integrity, and some of them have stolen from us. So it's really a good thing to do. It makes sense from a business perspective when you have, as we do, 100,000 employees. We're in a global talent hunt, so it doesn't make any sense to exclude 1/3 of the workforce at the outset.
Yeah. I just want to thank Mark and the Koch brothers for being out there. Their voice is important in this process. Because I think Fred Patrick mentioned earlier on the earlier panel that John Hopkins proactively hires formerly incarcerated people and did a study looked at what are the impacts of hiring formerly incarcerated versus those without. And I think Fred said that there were no real differences with disciplinary actions, terminations, promotions, and that sort of thing. And it goes to what you said, Mark, is that 1/3 of the folks out there, a second chance, and there really is no difference other than some got caught, some didn't, and we ought to be giving people second chances.
Absolutely.